Passover is coming up, and it is coming up quick. So that means no more leaven in our houses. And so I want to show you guys how to make some unleavened bread. This is just going to be follow along with me. Do what I do. The recipes you can adjust to your liking. And that's the great part about cooking is whatever you want, you can make. Now, the great part about unleavened bread is it has no yeast. There's only 3 ingredients. There is flour, there is water, and there is olive oil. There's 4 if you want to do salt. And we will be adding a little bit of salt to this. Whatever salt you want, then grab that. But I'm just going to go with some all-purpose flour right here. So what my wife has. And the recipe is super simple. 2 cups flour, 1 cup water, and I don't measure oil, but 1/4 cup olive oil. And then a pinch of salt to your liking. I like a little bit more salt because God says be the salt of the world, and I enjoy being salty. So let's just get 2 cups of flour. That's about right. I'm going to put that to the side. Then we're going to get our salt. Now this is Nephilim salt. This is pink Himalayan salt. So this is salt from giants. They're coagulated blood. And that's always a good thing too, because it tastes a lot better than just the ocean salt. So let's put that away. We got a little bit of salt in there. Should be good. And then we are going to get 1 cup of water. And I just have bottled water right here. I really we don't drink tap water. I will use it from time to time, but very minimal. So we have 1 cup water. And we're good on that. Good thing about water, right? You can drink it and finish it. And then just some olive oil. And I'll measure this for you guys. I might go a little bit heavy on oil. So we might actually just do, I don't know, let's see what 1/4 cup of oil looks like. Yeah, let's just go with 1/4 cup. Super simple recipe right there. And that's going to be great. And we are going to knead this into a dough. You can do it with your hands. There's no problem with that. I'm going to do it with a spoon. And we're just going to go for a decent consistency. So this recipe will feed at least a family of 4, maybe 5 for one meal. If you guys are a little heavy on tortillas. These are unleavened bread. I call them tortillas as well. It's pretty much the same thing, but a little different. And so when we get a dough-like consistency, it's going to be a little sticky. You can always put a little bit of flour on your hands, and it won't be as sticky, right? And we do want to flour our workspace because this stuff with the oil, depending on how much oil and stuff you put in, can be a little on the wet side. And this is feeling pretty good, but it's still a little wet. You don't want it to be super sticky. So we're gonna grab just a pinch. And work that in. So right now we are at probably about 2 1/4 cups of flour. And that's going to be a pretty decent dough. And this is not going to cook the same way that normal tortillas are going to cook, because it does not have any baking powder in there. And even that's still a little sticky. So we're at 2.5 cups of flour now. And this is feeling a whole lot better. And there's only a few ingredients. You can spice this up as well too. Add some oregano if you want. Add some thyme. Whatever you like. You do want to knead the dough kind of decent though, because that's what's going to also allow it to bubble. Also the oil. So it's not really sticking. So that is going to be a good dough. Now you can let that rest for a minute, for about 5 to 15 minutes or so. And it'd probably be a little bit better, but we're just going to go straight to it. So flour your surface. And I know I started out with 2 cups of flour. We ended up at about 2.5 cups. Sometimes it's just how cooking goes, but I will do the final recipe in the description for you guys. So I just grab about a palm size and work it like a tortilla. So what I'm doing is folding it over and bringing everything together. And that's all that is. And this is the very important part, because unleavened bread does not roll the same way as tortillas. But we're going to add some more flour to this so it doesn't stick. But you do want to roll it out very, very thin. And I've found that's the best way to get it to also bubble up. And I've already done tortillas, so we're just going with this. Depending on what counter you're working on as well too, the unleavened bread will be a little bit harder to roll out or easier. If you're working on wood, it's probably a lot easier. This is some type of maybe quartz. And that's getting to a pretty good thickness. Or I should say thinness. And it is very soft. Very, very soft. So we're going to put that to the side. It's quite similar to a tortilla as well. So remember, flour your base, flour your pin. And then what we do is I just grab a chunk, just like that. Maybe a little bit more. Right there. About a golf ball size. And then you just want to tuck everything under. Turn it into a ball. And then I coat it with flour. Couple of rolls. Turn. Couple of rolls. And just keep doing that. Medium pressure. And thinking about Passover as well too, Jesus even says in God says in Leviticus 23. These are my holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. And doing this is an awesome way to remember what the Israelites had to do when they were leaving Egypt. They were given gold jewelry, the earrings from their neighbors, and they didn't have time to do anything. They killed the lamb and ate that in their household. And if they weren't able to eat the full lamb, then they would pass over the rest of the lamb to another household. And they ate that, and everything had to be gone. And then they left. And we understand that Pharaoh ended up trying to chase them down. Moses and Aaron brought them out of the land. Moses parted the sea. God followed Moses with I think a regular cloud during the day and a fiery cloud at night. That's just crazy. But this holiday gives us a great opportunity to remember the Passover. And even Jesus held Passover before he was put on the tree. It's getting a little sticky right here. So there we go. That's a lot better. Sometimes if it gets a little sticky, just add a little bit more flour. Try not to do too much because you don't want your tortilla or your unleavened bread to be too grainy. Sometimes it'll turn out to be a little bit elastic. We're making some good progress on this. And this will bring you anywhere between 7 and 12 tortillas or unleavened breads, depending on how big you make your balls. There we go. I think we're probably going to land somewhere right around 8 or 9. And me personally, I absolutely love just thinking about the holy convocations of the Lord, because these are the times where we give gifts. The world gives gifts during Easter and Christmas and all these Halloween sometimes as well too. That's when the world gives gifts. But this one is an awesome holiday to give gifts to your loved ones. And it's a great time to give a little bit of gold or silver to your loved ones as well too, if you can afford that. Because it does go with what happened in the land of Egypt for the Israelites, right? Nowhere does God say that you have to do this, though. This is giving gifts for this is that would be a man-made tradition, but it's just fun to do. When I think of, it's kind of a little large. When I think of Scripture and the holy convocations and trying to think of, well, God says it's better to be a giver than a receiver. And when would be a good time to give gifts according to the law or to the word, not the law, but according to the word. And that would please God, because it is good to give. It's nice to see other people receive stuff that they didn't know that they wanted, or just something special and unique or handmade and something they can't get. A lot of luxury in this world is, can be bought, but some of the best luxury cannot be bought because it's made with your two hands and love. That one's a little wonky, but it's okay. And that's what I really enjoy doing, is making things for people and teaching, showing what I've learned or what skills I have acquired, and helping other people to have better lives. So my wife and I, for this Passover, we've put together some treasure boxes, actually, for my mom, one of my sisters, and my little nephews. Two of my nephews, not all of them, but two of them. And we're filling it up with gold and silver. Not too much because that stuff's very expensive, but giving a little bit of gold to my mom, and that's going to be fun because I've gotten her to realize what real money is and what God says about money. Abraham was rich in silver, gold, land, and cattle. And so for my mom, she was always there and cooking for me and taught me a lot of things that now that I'm quite older than a kid now, I enjoy giving my mom what she's sown, so she reaps the benefit of what she's sown. So sending her some nice little things, and then my nephews, trying to get them to understand what true savings is, and so I'm sending them some silver and some treasure boxes as well too. So that way maybe they get the bug. Maybe they start understanding, hey, this dollar is not buying as much as it used to. What's going on with that? How do I fight back? Well, God's given us a way to fight back. Work hard, put your money in silver and gold. Trust in the things of God, not in man. And so that's going to be exciting. I know one of my nephews, he's already excited about it. But, being a young man, you don't got much extra money, so that's where uncles come in, I guess, right? I mean, I never had an uncle do anything for me, so, but it's all right. And just thinking about this holiday, right? Going back to the main topic, when would be a good time to give gifts to people? The ones that we love, the ones that took care of us, the ones that fed us when we were sick and took care of us when we were sick. Well, I think Passover would be probably a great day. In the eyes of the Lord, I don't see how it would be bad, but don't be fooled though. That is it's going to be a large one. It's going to be a biggie. That is a Philip tradition. That is not required nor told to us by God or Scripture or anything of the sort. I just find it fun. Because when else are you going to give gifts? And using this opportunity to teach as well too. It's kind of funny because for me, I'm not just going to give the treasure boxes, but I'm also going to post Scripture and do something thoughtful that way that leads them back to Scripture of why I'm doing this. Well, because the Israelites were given gold by the Egyptians. So This is where we're landed right now. These are super soft, and we are going to get a pan, and I will start this video here in a second. Let me pause and reposition. So I have repositioned. We have just a stainless steel pan. We are warming it up to medium high heat, somewhere right around there. Like I said, I was already making tortillas. So, but we can't eat these for Passover. They have leaven in it. This has baking powder. And I made those with beef tallow. But we are going to bring over our tortillas or our unleavened bread. We got stuff all over the place. Excuse the mess. I got all kinds of whatnots going on over here. Some Kiko Man soy sauce and whatnot. But we have very, very soft unleavened bread. And the trick to this being very soft as well too is adding a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Or we could go with beef tallow. That would be fine as well too. Olive oil smokes, so hopefully it doesn't smoke us out and the alarm goes off. This apartment complex is very, very crazy with the smoke detectors. It really doesn't take much at all for the smoke detectors to go off. And so we just have a little splash of olive oil right there. Doesn't take much. We got some previous love also from the tortillas I was making. So this is not required. You don't have to make tortillas before you make the unleavened bread, but it might help, it might not. I have no idea. And this is going to be pretty quick once we get, yeah, it's already getting warm. And the trick to this is you do not want to touch it. Once you put it down, you put it down. Okay? And it's still warming up, so this one might not be as quick. I don't know where my wife put the baster. We used to have this really nice baster, so I don't know. So what we're gonna do is, you want this kind of cranked up. So what we're gonna do is grab another paper towel. And just blot just a little bit. Once it starts getting going, see it's not sticking. That's the best part. Once it gets going, there's going to be oil in here already, so you're not going to have to really do much. We might just put just a little dollop of oil in there and call it good. It's already getting hard, so it does not take long for this to cook either. And we got a little bit of bubbling going on. The thinner it is, the easier it'll bubble. So this needs to get a little bit hotter. The first one or two is a little rough, but after that, then it becomes good. You might have to turn the heat down just a little bit, but we're starting to get good bubbles. You can see the wetness of the unleavened bread. You don't want it all gone, because that's where the soft part is. That's pretty good. Flip it. There's some oil right there. You could see And this stuff is really good too. A lot healthier than using any pig lard. In this household, we don't use any pig products. According to scripture, they are vile and gross beasts and not for human consumption. Ooh. Yep, that's good. And on this side, just check it. It's looking pretty good. You'll see where it's cooked and where it's not cooked. So you want to make sure everything's gotten some heat to it and done. The first one, like I said, is always a little rough because the pan is warming up. We did not preheat this, but that should be good. Do it on this side one more time. But we're almost done. And this stuff is very quick to cook. Yeah, see it's bubbling. So that one's cooked. Now we can go on to our next one. We're going to add just a little bit of olive oil to this because, and that's the problem, the smoke detector is going to go off. Okay. But we're going to get this one before it goes off so I can show you guys. Just throw it on. Can't move it. Once you put it on, it's done. This stuff acts just like a tortilla though. Nice, soft, and fluffy. You almost can't tell. And this stuff, oh, it's so good. And if you do it right, see, you do get bubbles, just like a regular tortilla. And yeah, the smoke detector will be going off here soon, so we're gonna call the video here. But that's it. That's the unleavened bread. You can break that open. Got some butter right here. Dip that. And unleavened bread is, I don't know, I think a lot lighter than regular tortillas. Probably because it doesn't have all the fat that normal tortillas have, because it's just using olive oil, and this stuff is getting stuck together. This dough is sticky. And so that's it. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoy your Feast of Unleavened Bread. Passover is coming up. And this is going to be pretty much what I eat for 7 days. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.